Meta stock is soaring past all time highs. Amazon is posting record breaking profits. So, why are they both quietly laying off thousands of employees? Yet again, this isn't a repeat of the massive year of efficiency cuts from 2023. This is something different, something more calculated. The rules of the tech industry have changed, and the new wave of layoffs reveals a brutal reality for anyone building a career in tech. Today, we are breaking down the three real reasons this is happening and what it means for the future of your job. Let's get into it. All right, let's first look at what's actually going on. Over the past few weeks, reports have surfaced about fresh rounds of job cuts at both Meta and Amazon. At Meta, the layoffs are hitting specific divisions hard. We are seeing significant cuts in the Reality Labs unit, the part which was responsible for building the metaverse, as well as other experimental non AI projects. These aren't about saving money in a crisis, this is about a deliberate reallocation of resources. They're firing in one area to aggressively hire in another, that is generative AI. Over at Amazon, it's a similar story but with a different flavor. They're continuing a multi year effort to increase efficiency. The roles being eliminated are often in corporate and technology divisions that swelled during the massive hiring boom of the pandemic. They're calling it performance management and role redundancy. But the goal is clear: increase the productivity and output of every single employee. This isn't just a Meta and Amazon problem, this is a new normal across big tech. The era of panic driven mass layoffs is over. We are now in the age of continuous strategic cull. And to understand why, you need to look at three powerful forces driving this shift. So, if these companies are making so much money, why are they firing people? It comes down to this. First and most importantly is the great AI reallocation. The race for AI supremacy is the single most important battle in technology right now, and it's forcing companies to make ruthless decisions. Think about it from a CEO's perspective. Capital and talent are finite. Every dollar and every engineer you have working on a virtual reality headset is a resource you can't put towards building your own large language model. Mark Zuckerberg and Andy Jassy are under immense pressure from their boards and from the Wall Street to prove they have a winning AI strategy. This has created an AI mandate. It means prioritizing AI projects above everything else, even if it means killing off products and divisions that were once seen as the future. They are literally firing people in one building to open up headcount and budget for AI talent in the building next door. The second reason is the year of efficiency never really ended. It just became the new operating philosophy. In 2023, Mark Zuckerberg's mantra was a response to a market crash. Today, it's a long term strategy. The belief is Silicon Valley now is that leaner, flatter organizations are simply more effective. They move faster and innovate better. This means systematically removing layers of middle management and project managers to put engineers and project builders closer to the decision makers. The era of growth at all costs is dead. High interest rates and shaky global economy mean investors now reward cold, hard profitability and operational discipline far more than they reward speculative moonshots. Tech companies are now being run like mature, profitable businesses, not like scrappy startups with unlimited cash. And finally, we are still seeing the aftershocks of the pandemic. Between 2020 and 2022, companies like Amazon went on an unprecedented hiring spree, adding hundreds of thousands of employees to keep up with the surge in e commerce and cloud computing. They hired for a world that they thought would exist forever, but that world is gone. The demand for digital services has stabilized at a new, lower level than the peak of the pandemic. So these companies are still working to right size their organizations. These smaller ongoing cuts are the final echoes of that massive, once in a generation hiring boom. So, what does this all mean for you and your career in tech? It means we are living in a tale of two job markets. On one hand, if your job is directly related to artificial intelligence or machine learning, think AI researchers, ML engineers, data scientists with AI experience, you are in the golden age. Companies are fighting a war for your talent. Salaries are soaring, and you can practically name your price. But on the other hand, if your role is in a non core business unit, an experimental blue sky project, or in functions like project management or recruiting, your job security is lower than it has been in a decade. The bar to get into big tech is now finally higher. The interview loops are now more grueling, and the performance expectation from day one are intense. Rest and West is a thing of the past. But there is a silver lining. The incredible talent being shed by Google, Meta, and Amazon is a massive boon for the startup ecosystem. Founders can now hire world class experienced engineers and managers who were completely unaffordable or unavailable just a few years ago. This could fuel the next wave of innovation outside the walls of big tech. So the tech job market isn't collapsing, it's transforming. And it's becoming highly specialized. The message from Silicon Valley is brutally clear. If your job isn't directly contributing to the AI driven bottom line, it's at risk of being reallocated. The jobs of the future and the job security of today belong to the builders, the innovators, and the AI specialists. The game has changed. If you want to stay ahead of these trends and understand where the worlds of tech and venture capital are headed next, make sure you hit that subscribe button. We release a new deep dive just like this every single week to give you the insights you need to navigate your career and your investments. And now I want to hear from you. Drop a comment and let us know. Have these recent layoffs affected you or someone you know? Let's talk about it. Thanks for watching. See you next week. VC10X.